very limited sample size, but yesterday only marked the fourth time in history that we had an S&P 500 that was down by more than 1.5%, but we saw over 350 advancers in the index. The other times, April 14th, 1999, April 19th, 1999, and then April 12th, 2000. So if history is a guide, we're either in the midst of the bubble still inflating or the bubble has just popped. Choose your own adventure. I don't know if there's any actionable signal out of that, but perhaps we do like a double diagonal or long dated straddles. But a sample size of n equals 3 isn't really worth operating around. Instead, focusing away from the index because there's concentration risk thanks to NVIDIA, I think it's worth having a discussion about whether or not the AI revolution is over. So first things first, what did DeepSeek do? DeepSeek made 4 improvements over the models that we have here in the United States. They were able to use better software upgrades according to their white paper that they just put out last week. They were able to use more precise training. Meta has this training set where they look at everything and 95% of it is nonsense. DeepSeek is only looking at the 5% that matters, so it costs less to train. They have this new compression engine that is a significant breakthrough, apparently, in the memory space. I couldn't explain it, so I'm not going to pretend otherwise. But they have a new reinforcement learning methodology that rewarded the AI systems, these LLMs, to getting to the correct answer faster. And so perhaps this is real. Nick and I, your son, Tony, have been going back and forth about whether or not the story is true. I mean, do we really believe that they've made this in a cave with a box of scraps? Probably not. They probably had some higher end GPUs in there. But if you look at the benchmarking results, they are able to produce a model that is on par with OpenAI's top model right now, and they're able to do it at a fraction of the cost. So what does this mean about how the market reacted yesterday? Is the AI revolution over? SMH was down 9.8%. NVIDIA punched in the face for a 17% loss. But I think that hides really what happened. The market quickly flipped into what could be considered phase 2 of the AI revolution. What is phase 2? Well, phase 1 is the picks and shovels phase. Then phase 2 is the gold rush applications phase. People are going to start digging for things now. What would be an indication that we've moved into this phase? And yesterday really wasn't the end of the AI trade. You would see something like data providers, data aggregators outperform the market in a session like we had on Monday. So why would we care about those data aggregators and data providers? These data aggregators and monetizers are companies that control, collect, and generate all the high quality proprietary data essential for training the models and developing those actionable insights. In the phase 2, these firms are going to thrive, so to speak, as AI powered applications that depend heavily on their data sets operate more efficiently. So they can train the models, they can monetize the opportunities, they have lower barriers to entry now. It doesn't cost $100 billion to get your foot in the door. You can do it with $5.5 million perhaps. But a basket of companies that I was looking at that fit this criteria for data analytics, consumer data platforms, financial data providers, healthcare data aggregators, and proprietary data aggregators. Names like Snow, Palantir, Google, Meta, Amazon, S&P Global, FactSet, IQVIA, United Health Group, Axon, and Relics Group, and V-Risk Analytics. This basket of stocks was up 0.7% yesterday. So maybe we're just moving into a different phase. This could actually be really problematic for the top line indexes, which have so much concentration risk for some of these semiconductors. Coming into this week, the market cap for semis was close to over $4 trillion if you look at the 6 or 7 big ones here in the US. And that could be problematic for the NASDAQ for a little while. But when you have a broad breadth rally like we saw yesterday, and we have the market pricing in a better future for companies that would succeed in a phase 2 AI revolution and not die on the vine because AI is dying with NVIDIA, I think we have some early indications that maybe we're just shifting priorities here. To take a step back, there's a difference in the market when it melts down because the revolution's over versus it believing that the moats and the companies with the moats and can prioritize and generate revenue from the bottlenecks in the system. I think we just shifted where the bottlenecks are. And this is a new process of discovery. It's going to lead to a lot of individual good stock picking opportunities. I'm more interested in looking at individual stocks than trading the indexes because I think the indexes could have drag. But I guess I'll take a step back and get off my soapbox. I'm trying to make sense of this AI news, and that's the best explanation that I have on this Tuesday morning.
Hey, Beth, Can you turn up the volume a little bit?
Did you hear any of that?
Can you repeat that for us?
No.
No, I heard it good because I have an earpiece. This is.
Hey, Beth.
Yes.
Turn up the volume, please.
We got you. Yep.
Okay. So here's my take on it, Chris. First of all, I actually think it's very bullish for the overall market because I think there's a number of companies out there that would have liked you to believe that in order for you to compete in the AI space, you needed X billions of dollars. People were talking about, they wanted to start an AI company. You have to raise, $3 to $5 billion, ridiculous numbers.
So smart people here are thinking that want to do this. I got to go play another sandbox. I can't do it. What
Exactly.
What newish developer, smart person is going to say?
Well, what private equity fund?
Right. I can raise 10 million. I can raise 5 million. I can raise 50 million. I can't
raise 5 billion. Exactly. And I think that there were a lot of firms.
Well, that's a somewhat bullish case.
I just said it's a bullish case.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yeah.
I think there was this general idea, this industry perception that if you wanted to build something in the AI space, if you wanted to build the core technology, anybody can build an AI platform connecting to whichever system you want to. But if you want to build from scratch, you would need a gazillion dollars, basically. And I think what this did is it really changed the game. The thought process before yesterday was you needed X amount of power, you needed X amount of money, you needed X amount of expertise, you needed all these employees, you needed all this stuff. And I think yesterday, everything got kind of flipped upside down. And basically, this Chinese, I don't even want to call it a startup, but this Chinese AI company essentially changed the whole game overnight, said, none of that is true. You can build this for a lot less money. You can use a lot less power, and you can basically do all the same stuff. And we don't have to charge you $200 a month and do all this other stuff. So, the question was were the Sam Altmans of the world just inflating all the prices and just because they could, which is so weird to me, but I understand it. If you can get 50 or $100 billion, why not? If somebody's willing to pay you. But I think there's a lot of firms looking in the mirror right now going, what the hell did we just do? Like, who did we just fund? Why would we pay $100 billion for what Sam Altman's want to do? Why would we give, Elon $5 billion to build this other thing, or $12 billion? Why would we give all these guys, tens of billions of dollars when a bunch of Chinese engineers can do it for less than 50 million or less than 10 million? It's crazy. So
I'm going to piggyback a little bit of what my son said to you, Chris. Why are we believing them now? They've never really been honest with China. Like, they've really never been honest.
Maybe Sam Altman's not being honest with you. Maybe they just inflated their value. What do they have to be honest about? They're giving you, it's an open source. Go use them. See what you think yourself.
Yeah, but to say that they built it for 10 times.
So say they built it. Say it wasn't 6 million. Say it was 60 million. Say give them 10x. Who gives a crap? The point is, who's more likely to be telling the truth here? The group that's
not
pushing,
China.
The group that's pushing it out, that's free to use, or a group here that's telling you that they're worth $100 billion. All I'm saying is it's disruption. It's a beautiful thing for
Could be another
us.
TikTok grab. That could be the business model.
Hey, I'm a consumer.
How do we get into America without really being able to get into America? We give it away for free.
I'm a consumer. As a consumer, and I talk to our AI guys, and they all agree that stuff is good. Like it's not every AI platform has their little, their advantages, their disadvantages, their pros and their cons. But the DeepSeek stuff, as good as anything else out there.
So you think our $1 trillion companies got outsmarted by?
I don't think they got outsmarted.
No. A small group of Chinese brilliant people smoking cigarettes.
No, I think it's the opposite. I think our trillion-dollar companies
duped us,
outsmarted us because they could. And because we're
about almost any business.
Okay.
Whenever it comes out, it's always an inflated price, and then things come down.
okay. Well, let's see how
TV
fast things come down.
technology, I mean, whatever.
Let's see how fast things come down. Yeah, I'm saying that's what happened.
This isn't the first time, though. I mean, like if the story, like I divide this into two camps. Is the model real? Yes, we have independent benchmarking. You can download, it's open source. If you want to get away from the chat CCP version of it, you can host it on American server. Perplexity is doing this right now. It's completely uncensored, right? And it gives a very different set of responses about Tiananmen Square and Xi Jinping than the one that you're seeing when you go to DeepSeek.com or what have you. But I'm not surprised that this has occurred. We put all these import or export restrictions on GPUs in a manner not too dissimilar than what we did to Japan after World War II. There's a lot of great research out there that how did Japan become this manufacturing hub of the automobile world in the post-World War II era when it faced all of these issues and restrictions because of U.S. occupation. There was a really good book put together called Lean Manufacturing, and James P. Womack wrote this other book, The Machine That Changed the World, studying about how Japan did this. And they basically did more with less, right? We can't have all this waste and all this error, so we have to maximize the efficiency of our systems. Perhaps the DeepSeek team did that with the GPUs that they have their hands on. But I think the bigger story here is that, hey, maybe we can adopt some of these principles and retrain our models or rejigger our models to get to where we want to go, which is ultimately producing something that adds a ton of value to the companies that have AI in their systems. It seems like OpenAI is trying to make the machine god. They're trying to build AGI, AI, general intelligence, or even ASI, artificial superintelligence. DeepSeek is not really doing that here. They're saying, like, what if we were to build something that isn't quite machine god, but it can do most of what machine god does, and it doesn't light all this money on fire? So if Meta, for example, adopts those principles and changes its model, it has the biggest data set in the world. Is it going to turn off some of its data centers? No, it's just going to get from point A to point B that was expected to arrive in 2035. Maybe that occurs in 2028 now. So this story isn't over. Thing. Just the winners and losers.
It's all a good thing. That is
a good thing.
Everything's a good thing.
It's a great thing.
Yeah, it's all
so
good.
My
Taiwanese source just wrote into me.
Yeah.
Temu was going to put Amazon out of business. TikTok was going to kill Meta. If the government controlled everything,
your Taiwanese sources are idiots because none of those things are competitive. The point
none of those things are competitive?
No, they're not the same thing.
Nick. Did he tell you that?
I mean, TikTok is amazing.
But it didn't kill Meta.
Nobody said it was going to, but TikTok is amazing. Temu wasn't going to put anybody in business, but it is amazing.
No, but that was the narrative at the time. Like, Temu's the Amazon killer.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
That was definitely the narrative at the time.
Thank you.
And it just
Thank you. Appreciate it, Chris.
The world
that was
is big
only
enough.
Amazon killer to people that don't understand how things work.
The world according to Sosnoff. Unbelievable.
All right, what else you got, Chris? What else you got? I don't want to talk about DeepSeek. We talked about that.
Remember when COVID didn't come from a Chinese lab?
Yeah, what about it?
I mean, now they've proven that it has.
Who's proven?
So it's a low confidence assessment from the CIA, but I'm reminded of the Jon Stewart bit on the Stephen Colbert show a few years ago. It's like if there was an accident involving Hershey chocolate in Hershey, Pennsylvania, where would the first place we'd look? Right? In Wuhan, there's a place called the Wuhan Institute of Virology, and there's a big virus outbreak there.
I know, but nobody believed it. Nobody believed the conspiracy theories. Nobody believed it.